beautiful continent of black people is home to more than 1 billion people, half of whom will be under 25 years old by 2050. Africa, that used to be synonymous with poverty, hunger, and war, is one of the newest destinations for emerging market investors. In fact, since 2000, the World Economic Forum has identified that more than half of the world's fastest growing economies are located in Africa. Now let's talk about why world powers and foreign investors are eyeing Africa as the next big emerging destination for investments. Truth is, there is immense potential in Africa more than any other continent. Now, Africa has extensive natural resources, a young and increasingly educated workforce, more stability in terms of governance, and more prospects for economic growth than in years past. Now, Africa has the world's largest free trade area and a 1.2 billion person market. Now, the continent is creating an entirely new development path, harnessing the potential of its resources and people. Now, take for example, Africa has untapped reserves of natural gas and oil. In fact, 12% of the world's reserves, and largely unexploited hydroelectric power. Now, Africa is home to vast gold, platinum, uranium, cobalt, and diamond reserves. Currently, only 10% of Africa's arable land is being cultivated. Yet, Africa owns around 60% of the world's cultivable land. Now, in 2030, Africa's house consumption is expected to reach a $2.5 trillion, more than double that of 2015, which is $1.1 trillion. Now, who exactly is investing in Africa? Now, due to the opportunities and the uniqueness of Africa, there's a fertile ground for potential investors, which in turn is responsible for the growth of startups in Africa. Now, who then is investing in Africa, if you might ask? In terms of foreign direct investments, China has been the leading investors in Africa over the past decade. China's investment in Africa has grown to $43.4 billion in 2020 alone, and followed by the United States and of course France. Now, as more foreign money pour into the continent, with Nigeria, which is Africa's largest economy, with more than $514 billion GDP, often get the largest slice of the investments. Now, startups from the country are compelled to look outside for expansion, while tech startups in Africa had a record funding year in 2021. Now, let's talk about Africa's startup funding. Africa is home to at least 774 startups. Now, in 2020, these startups attracted funding worth $700 million, a 42.7% increase from the previous year. Now, moving on to 2021, tech startups in Africa experienced a happy year in terms of funding. Now, about $4 billion in total was raised by African startups in 2021. Nigeria taking a large chunk of $1.37 billion in 2021. Now, African tech startups has already raised more than $1 billion in the first 2 months of 2022, more than half of the amount that was raised in the entirety of 2021. A majority of the checks were written by foreign investors, either investing for the first time or those who have already been on the continent working with startups.
Since we've opened our first offices in Africa, we have enabled 100 million Africans to access the internet for the first time. And we have empowered millions of businesses and creators with digital tools. A big focus has been expanding opportunity through digital skills. In 2017, we committed to help 10 million Africans get the skills they need to grow their careers and businesses. And so far, we have trained 6 million people. We've also trained 80,000 developers from every country in Africa and supported more than 80 startups to raise global VC funding, creating thousands of jobs that we plan to invest $1 billion in Africa over 5 years.
Now, how about the unicorns in Africa. Now, currently there are 7 unicorns in African startup space, which includes startups like Jumia, Flutterwave, Cheaper Cash, Wave, OPay, and Andela. Now, Nigeria boasts of 5 out of 7 unicorns in Africa at present. Now, let's talk about some of these unicorns in Africa. The first unicorn that I'm talking about is Jumia. Now, Jumia is known as the Amazon of Africa.
Managing digital transformation at Africa is a challenge that we are experiencing and working on the engineering side of it. So it's really proud and rewarding for us to be part of this digital transformation through application, through technologies that we are building, create platforms that solve complex problems that we need to address. Egypt Tech Center is a tech center composed by multiple people from multiple cultures. So this environment creates an exciting working days that we have here. Having a team in Egypt brings a lot of benefits for our overall solutions that we are building at Jumia. Having this multicultural environment, it means that we have experience from people that work in other markets, but we also have the big benefit of having people working here on the ground in Egypt and having the reality close to them. So this brings a lot of benefits and a lot of information to fulfill the solutions that we are building.
In 2012, now it is an online marketplace for electronics, logistics, fashion items, among other things that target several African countries. Now in 2016, the e-commerce giant became the first unicorn in the history of the African startup ecosystem. Also in April 2019, Jumia became the first African unicorn to list on the New York Stock Exchange. Now let's talk about Flutterwave.
Almost everything around us was once a dream. Dreams are important because they help us push our imagination of what's possible. They provide us with a blueprint for a better world. But without doers, dreams are just dreams, and how would we actually have a better world?
Hi, my name is JB. I'm the founder and CEO of Flutterwave.
4.5 years ago, we started Flutterwave in a tiny office space in Lagos.
Convincing mission to unite Africa into a single market through payment. Much appreciation to our investors who trusted us and came through at the right time to help us continue on our growth journey.
Now, Flutterwave is a leading fintech company that provides a payment infrastructure for global merchants and payment service providers across the continent. It was founded in 2016 by Olugbenga Agbola and a team of African finance and technology veterans from Standard Bank, PayPal, and Google Wallet, among other companies. Now, Flutterwave has enabled over 140 million transactions worth more than $9 billion. Let's talk about Wave. Wave is an offshoot of Sendwave. Now, Sendwave, which was founded in 2014 to avoid the hassles of international money transfers and high transaction costs. When Wave was launched in Senegal, it served the underbanked African population and lowered the cost of mobile money transactions. Wave announced a $200 million Series A funding in September, making it the first Francophone African startup to reach this milestone and the third to do so in 2021. Let's talk about OPay. OPay is a popular mobile-based payment platform launched in 2018 as a ride-hailing platform in Nigeria. The company dabbled in a few other businesses like logistics, e-commerce, and many more before focusing on mobile money. In 2019, OPay crossed the $1 billion mark to become a unicorn startup after raising $400 million. Since then, OPay has over 300 million agents across Nigeria and more than 5 million users alone in Nigeria. Now, according to the company, its monthly transaction volume now exceeds $3 billion. Now, fintech in general is proving to be the main driver of investment in Africa, and countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa are taking the lead roles. Now don't forget to drop your comments below and subscribe to this channel to get more tech related content on this channel. Thank you for watching.